Record of Ragnarok. Chapter 79. The Rebel King. When describing his figure, the boy's eyes will shine. And one kid said, "In Greece, he has the coolest back in the whole world." And the old man also said, "When he speaks of him, the old man's blood boiled like it should. By just seeing that back, I could never stand still. Even an old geezer like me might still be able to fight." When the soldier talks about that man's courage, their adrenaline increases. One soldier said, "Just by fighting while looking at his back, they start to feel like they can win. And yes, even if they were facing 300,000 enemies. He is a man who lived in ancient times. Since then, throughout the ages and across the world, innumerable heroes and great men have been born. King Leonidas, one of Sparta, is the man in ancient times received the most admired gaze in human history. In 480 BC there was a 300,000 Persian army, led by King Xerxes, the fourth king of kings of the Achaemenid Empire. The Greek city-state alliance centered on Sparta and Athens was about to be subjugated. However, in Sparta, at the assembly hall of Spartan Gerousia, or Council of Elders, there was a Spartan guard standing in the town hall. His name is Haggis. He felt cold while guarding the place where the elders gathered, and it took too long for the meeting. The elders are debating on what action they will do against the Persia. One elder said, "He will not allow fighting against Persia. It is unforgivable." And another elder said, "Now is the time for the Carneia festival. If we engage in war, the divine punishment of Lord Apollo shall befall us." The Carneia festival is a ceremony that celebrates the glory of Apollo. During the Carneia festival, military actions are strictly prohibited. It is said, when Apollo descended upon the earth, he conveyed this message to the people of this land. This oracle of Apollo has been passed down through generations. And for the people of Sparta, it was an absolute and inviolable command. But one Spartan elder is worried about the Persian army. He said, "They must stop the Persian army from invading the Peloponnesian Peninsula. If we don't intercept them now, we won't be able to resist them. If that happens, what will become of our people, the people of Sparta? What will they do to us? And the worst case scenario, all of Greece may turn into scorching land." But the other elders are against it. One said, "Are you suggesting that you want to break the oracle that we, Spartans, have protected for centuries?" The other one said, "You really don't understand anything, do you? What are you anxious about? You young ones have no clue and come up with pointless opinions." One elder tapped the anxious guy's shoulder and said, "Don't worry about it. The Carneia festival will begin in just a few days. If we have to fight, it can wait until after that." But the guy responded, "That there is a possibility that it will be too late by then." One elder said, "We are Sparta, the strongest military state. You young ones who know nothing about war wouldn't understand. A mere few days, delay will not lead us to defeat. It's inconceivable." But the young guy tried to explain, but he stopped by the other elder. The elder said, "Need I keep repeating it? This is the oracle rules of Apollo. And the young ones can't do anything on them." Haggis, the Spartan guard, was listening to their conversation. And he already knows the results of the meeting. Because from the beginning, the outcome was already decided. And yet the old guys had no intentions of listening to the options of the young ones. "Well, I guess if it's the will of the gods, there's nothing we can do. Things will just unfold as they will, and someone else will decide what to do. Looking back now, I was just like the elders. Honestly, I was easily influenced by the atmosphere around me." Haggis said, "Normally they just follow the oracle, and even the other Spartan citizens felt the same way. It's just the way it is. And it can't be helped. Peer pressure and thought suppression. It's easier that way. And it's scary to stand out from the majority. But he was different. A guy with a cigar is standing up and talks to the elders. He said, 'Divine punishment? Apollo? Oracle? Are you all a bunch of idiots? He is the king of Sparta. Leonidas the First.'" Leonidas said, "I never met or seen gods. I refuse to entrust my life to them. I, myself, am gonna go forth." But the elders tried to stop him. One elder said, "Leonidas, do you dare to disregard the sacred council? Even as a king, without the council's decision, you cannot start a war." At that time, while the king of Sparta held the command of the army, the authority to engage in warfare with other countries belongs to the council. One elder shouting to Leonidas, he said, "What audacity to speak of Lord Apollo! You will not be forgiven, Leonidas." But Leonidas responds to him, "Not forgiven? Who's not forgiving me? Don't act so damn high and mighty." Then he punched the statue of Apollo. While the elders tried to stop him. But it's too late and it was broken to pieces. All the council was shocked. Even Haggis, the Spartan guard, because Leonidas broke to pieces the statue of Apollo that it was supposed to be sacred to them. Then Leonidas said, "If that's how divine punishment is, then I guess I am on my own. Anyone got a problem with that?" Leonidas asked the council. The council was silent. Then he said, "See ya," and he walked away. But one elder tried to stop him. The elder said, "No one will stand by your side, after you have broken the oracle. The oracle that's lasted for centuries." And the other elder said, "Why is it necessary for you to march now, even to defy the gods? Are you so eager for battle? Are you so thirsty for blood?" But Leonidas responds to them, "I've never wanted to fight. It's tiring, and I don't want to die. I'd rather have a drink and take a nap." One elder asked why. Then he answered, "Even so, now is the time to fight. Because when it's time to fight, you must always fight by your own will. That's as Sparta." Everyone is silence. But Haggis was amazed by Leonidas. When Leonidas walked away, Haggis thought that Leonidas was just a foolish person, who's going against the oracle. And going to the war all by himself, is incomprehensible. But Haggis felt weird himself. Because honestly, he doesn't fully understand. But his legs, they just moved on their own. And followed to King Leonidas. His soul just followed his back on its own. But it wasn't just Haggis. King Leonidas. Just wait. Someone said in his back. And when he looks back, hundreds of warriors are coming to him. One warrior said, "I will accompany you, Lord Leonidas." Another warrior said, "Me too. I will also join the campaign." And another one said, "Please let me fight too." Mesmerized by the spirit of a true warrior, 300 men had joined him. Then, King Leonidas told them, "You guys, do you understand the importance of this battle, right?" And Haggis responded, "Yes sir, it is better to return on your shield than to live. It's a fight that we may not come back alive, right? Honestly, it's scary, but we are Spartans." Leonidas smokes his cigar. Then, he takes the shield. And said to the warriors, "Do as you like." The warriors were glad and happy. And so, fate or rather, Leonidas, the rebel against the god, led his 300 Spartan soldiers to the battlefield. Then, in the Battle of Thermopylae, Leonidas and the 300 Spartan warriors face 100,000 of Persian army led by Xerxes. Leonidas said, "Hey, it's quite a spectacle," and he smiled. Then, he led his warriors to attack. And said, "Let's show those cowardly bastards who gotta bring a huge army. The way Spartans fight." Haggis narrates what he saw in the battle. He said, "Honestly, Leonidas is an incredible person. Charging into a force of 300,000 enemies with just 300 people. I must admit, I was a bit frightened at that time. But thanks to that, it was the first time in my life that I truly felt alive. Regret? No, none at all. I don't think anyone had any regrets. Even the king and all 300 of us. We knew we were likely to die in that battle. But, with our fight all of Greece rallied. Driving back to the Persian army and saving our country. That was our victory, wasn't it? The greatness of King Leonidas." Yes, I suppose so, indeed. That back, it gives me chills. That incredibly cool back. He's so cool after all. Go get him, King Leonidas. The Spartan warriors shout out loud. In the battle arena, King Leonidas asks Apollo, "Do you understand now? Your carefree command became the oracle of the Spartan people. You're the real pain in the ass. And I don't like being ordered around. So I'm gonna make it up to you." But Apollo mockingly responds to him, "Hey now, make it up to me. Even though I am graciously bestowed upon you." A delightful and peaceful myth of pacifism. And the Spartan people were shocked and angry when they heard it. The Apollo continued mocking to King Leonidas. "Well, aren't you cocky? If you're going to talk to me, you first need to kneel." Then Leonidas got so mad. Then he says, "Well then, such a shame," and he start the attack with his shield. The shield was transforming. And Gaul was shocked when she saw it. King Leonidas says to Apollo, "I'm the one who's gonna bring you to your knees." Then Brunhilde explained to Gaul, "The shield is the divine weapon of King Leonidas. And the only one able to hold his power. The advancing spear is the fifth Valkyrie sister, Gyaralal." King Leonidas threw his shield towards Apollo. But Apollo is easily catching it by hand, and King Leonidas shouting him, "You damn god!" and release an energy from his hand through the shield. And Apollo was shocked. King Leonidas called the attack a phalanx enchos, and Apollo was hit on that attack and split a blood in his mouth. Then King Leonidas told him, "Let me tell you something, shitty god. If you want to live a long life, don't stand against Sparta." The elder Spartan was shocked at what happened to Apollo, but the young warriors Sparta was happy with what they saw.